It usually starts quietly. A familiar room, the same chair, the same light filtering through the same window at the same hour. You tell yourself you're just resting, that you'll go out tomorrow, that there's no rush, and on the surface nothing feels wrong. But beneath that calm, something subtle is happening. Life is moving, and you are watching it from behind glass. You scroll through photos of places you've never been, people laughing in moments you weren't part of, memories forming without you. And instead of jealousy, what you feel is stranger than that: numbness, detachment, a quiet relief mixed with an unnamed ache. Here is the paradox no one names. The place you retreated to for safety has become the place where your life is slowly disappearing. Staying home once protected you. It reduced stimulation, lowered expectations, minimized risk. But now, that same strategy is costing you something invisible but enormous. Not success, not popularity, aliveness. You are not avoiding life because you don't want it. You are avoiding it because at some point life became too much, and no one taught you how to meet it without bracing. So you learn to shrink, and shrinking works, until it doesn't. This pattern is not a personality trait. It is a nervous system adaptation. When the world feels unpredictable, the mind seeks control. When emotions feel overwhelming, the body seeks stillness. When connection feels risky, the psyche chooses distance. Psychology has names for this. One is avoidant coping, a strategy where discomfort is managed not by processing, but by withdrawing from the stimulus entirely. Another is hypervigilance, where the nervous system is constantly scanning for threat. For people like this, the outside world isn't neutral. It's loud, demanding, and draining. Home becomes a bunker. Then there is the default mode network, the part of the brain active when you are alone, idle and inwardly focused. In healthy balance, it supports reflection and creativity, but when overactivated, it traps you in rumination, replay, and imagined futures. You're not resting. You're looping. Many people who stay home excessively also carry an emotional neglect schema. Not abuse, not chaos, but something quieter. Your emotions were not mirrored. Your inner world wasn't explored with you, so you learned to self-regulate alone. Eventually, solitude stopped being a choice. It became the only place your system knew how to breathe. And over time, this reshapes identity. You don't think of yourself as someone who lives life. You think of yourself as someone who observes it. Safe, contained, unmoved, but also untouched. There is a grief here that doesn't announce itself. No funeral. No clear loss. Just a growing sense that something essential is missing. And you can't name what. This is invisible grief, the grief of moments not lived. Conversations not entered. Versions of yourself that never had the chance to exist. You begin to trade authenticity for comfort, not because you don't value authenticity, but because being real feels like exposure. So you choose predictability over presence, and slowly the fear underneath clarifies. It's not fear of people. It's not fear of the world. It's fear of overwhelm. Fear of not knowing how you'll feel once you're out there. Fear that if something stirs inside you, you won't know how to hold it. The philosopher Rainer Maria Rilke once wrote that we must live the questions. But you were never taught how to live inside uncertainty, only how to escape it. So you minimize life until it feels manageable. But manageability is not meaning. And here is the quiet tragedy. The longer you avoid life to feel safe, the harder it becomes to feel alive at all. Joy dulls. Curiosity fades. Even desire becomes abstract. You don't feel deeply unhappy. You feel paused. These patterns don't stay theoretical. They become daily life. You might stay home not because you love solitude, but because leaving feels disproportionately exhausting. Cancel plans last minute, then feel relief, followed by shame. Feel disconnected in relationships. Even when you want closeness, choose work that minimizes exposure over work that excites you. Struggle with boundaries because avoidance feels easier than negotiation. Experience emotional flatness punctuated by sudden anxiety. They become adults who confuse peace with numbness. Confuse independence with isolation. Confuse self-protection with self-erasure. Your self-worth becomes conditional. I'm okay as long as I don't need too much. Your emotional regulation relies on withdrawal rather than expression. Your identity becomes narrow. Not because you lack depth, but because you haven't had space to explore it in motion. And this is crucial. These are coping mechanisms, not character flaws. They kept you functional when you didn't have better tools. The beginning of unlearning is not forcing yourself out. It is witnessing, not asking what's wrong with me, but what did I learn that made this feel necessary? Awareness softens the system. Compassion lowers the armor. And from there, change becomes possible. Healing does not mean becoming extroverted. It does not mean constant socializing. It does not mean abandoning solitude. It means choice. It begins with nervous system regulation, teaching your body that stimulation is survivable. Small exposures, short outings, gentle novelty, not pushing, inviting. It continues with inner child reparenting, offering reassurance to the part of you that learned the world was too much. You don't have to disappear to be safe anymore. There is also shadow work, meeting the parts of you that fear desire, visibility, and longing without judgment. Choosing softness over survival mode is not weakness. It is maturity. Carl Jung wrote, "What we do not make conscious appears in our lives as fate. Your withdrawal was never fate. It was adaptation. And adaptations can evolve. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not antisocial. You are someone who learned safety before learning freedom. And now, slowly, gently, you can learn both." The goal is not to be fixed. The goal is to become whole. If this spoke to something unspoken in you, consider sharing it, not to perform, but to connect. And if you want to keep exploring these quiet psychological patterns together, you're welcome to stay, not inside your house, but inside the conversation. Because life does not require you to be fearless. It only asks that you show up, a little more than you did yesterday.